basketball fans, welcome back. So the road to BAL 2025 is right around the corner, and the group phase and Elite 16 are slated to be between October and November. That's next month, which is not too far away, so just a couple of weeks away. And the BAL came out with an announcement saying that FIBA Africa increased the number of teams that will qualify automatically for the 2025 BAL from 6 to 8, and 4 teams will qualify from the Road to BAL tournament. So it's 4 teams from each division of the Road to BAL. So there's 8 slots and 8 automatic slots. From the previous years, we'll be seeing 6 slots from 6 teams that qualify automatically based on their performance, and the other 6 spots were coming from the Road to BAL, 3 split in half, 3 and 3. So in this case, we are having 8 automatic slots and 8 slots that teams and nations have to fight for in the Elite 16. So the 8 automatic spots, you have Tunisia, Angola, Senegal, Rwanda, Nigeria, Egypt, South Africa, and Morocco. So South Africa and Morocco, they are the 2 nations that have been able to secure automatic spots. And based on how they performed, Morocco, they were the best team in the BAL regular season this year, but they were not able to make it past the first round. And South Africa, led by the Cape Town Tigers, who are not going to be in this BAL, but another team is going to represent South Africa. They got an automatic slot, and they hosted the first ever Kalahari Conference. So some adjustments were made. South Africa will host the playoffs and finals, and looking at how they hosted the Kalahari Conference, it was actually quite good, and few changes. So Rwanda, they've had BAL season 1, 2, 3, and 4. They hosted the playoffs and finals, but in this case, Rwanda will be hosting the Kalahari Conference, Morocco Nile Conference, and Senegal will host the Sahara Conference. So I'm very excited to see this because, I mean, it's been a while since I've seen BAL basketball, and man, it's just awesome to see what national teams are doing right now, and not even national teams, but club teams representing their nations. Because for all the slots for the Road to BAL, so the Road to BAL teams, we have got Algeria in there, Cameroon is there, Ivory Coast is there with the ABC Fighters, Gabon is there, Kenya with the NRBC Thunder. I'll be monitoring the NRBC Thunder closely because they are a team that have shown that they have what it takes to be able to compete there, given like the roster they have. Libya is back there, but you are seeing Al Ahly Tripoli. It's different from the Al Ahly LY team. Morocco, FS Rabat is back. Mozambique, Costa do Sol. South Africa, MBB. So MBB is a team that hails from South Africa, and Cape Town Tigers, they're just falling apart, and they've not been able to get back to their glory that they had last year. So unfortunately, Cape Town Tigers, they're out, and even one of their top management left, so it's just been downhill. NBB representing South Africa. Tanzania have got JKT, Madagascar, GNBC. GNBC, it's been a while since they've been there. Malawi, they've got Bravehearts. Uganda, the City Oilers are back. And Zambia, Mautero Magic. So I'm just excited to see the Road to BAL teams there. So the teams that got automatic qualification, we're yet to see the Rwandan champion crowned, and the RBL season is not yet decided. The NBBF Premier League champions not yet decided. So far, we have Senegal. We've got ASCVD. So they are there. US Monastir from Tunisia, Al Ittihad Alexandria from Egypt, and Petro de Luanda. They got their qualification a smack in the middle of just before the playoffs started. They already knew that they're going to be in the next BAL. So I'm just waiting to see what happens in the Road to BAL, because Road to BAL is just going to be slated. It's going to be much more eventful, and we're going to have 4 slots each. So they're going to change the setup. They're going to change up the style of play, and I will come up with a video to talk about the format, because in the previous years, we've had a very, very different format, which I'm going to go through in this video. So in the past 4 seasons of the BAL, there has been a format that that dictates what teams are going to play in the BAL. So there were 12 teams that were supposed to play in the BAL. So 6 teams qualified automatically. And the teams that qualified automatically is the champion and the way the teams finished off in the playoffs. So the top teams that finished well in the playoffs get an automatic slot. The teams that were not able to finish well and they're at the bottom of the playoffs, let's say out of the 8 teams, or even let's say out of the 6 teams that did well, you will have a couple of teams that are at the bottom. So there are others that are going to start from the beneath, and there are the other teams are going to plug in at the Elite 16. So it depends on how you finished off your season. So if you didn't make the playoffs, you'll have to go through that road to BAL cycle again from the bottom. You have to go from the first round where you play a round robin. The top 2 teams in that group get plugged into Elite 16. You play another round robin, then you go to the knockout stages, which is the semis and the finals. So it's a very, very grueling task. We saw what Dynamo did, although they were yanked out of the Kalahari Conference because of what they did with their jerseys. I don't know if they are going to be able to make it, but I don't think so. Because looking at Burundi, they have not been slated as a team that is going to participate in the road to BAL, because given the fact that they were banned, and in this channel we will talk extensively about what happened with Burundi, they are not going to be present and they are not going to be able to play they're not going to be able to play. So that is actually quite sad. And honestly, if you ask me, we are just waiting to see the Rwandan and Nigerian champions. We are just waiting to see them. And Burundi, I don't think they're going to be able to make it back, because what they did was despicable. But anyway, that's not a topic for this video. All I'm just saying is it's a grueling gauntlet for teams that are starting from the bottom. Take the case of my home country, Kenya. So we have our Nairobi City Thunder. So the Nairobi City Thunder, what they must do is, in the group that they'll be slated to play against, it's a round robin. They're going to have to play 3 games. So in those 3 games, they have to win 2 games and have a good point differential to make sure that they proceed to the Elite 16. When they get put in the Elite 16 and a draw happens and they're able to match up with a couple of teams, they must win every single game. They must win at least 2 more games to be able to make it to the semis and finals. The easy part is, if they're able to make it to the finals, they'll have a qualification. They'll have a ticket regardless of the outcome. It doesn't matter if they finish number 1 or number 2. But even if they drop the game and finish number 2, they'll have a ticket and they'll already have qualified to go to the BAL. So they have to make sure to finish number 1 or 2. And that's on the high end. But on the low end, because there are only 4 teams that are required, 1, 2, 3, and 4 are going to get picked. So you have to make sure to fight for those slots. In the first seasons, we had number 1, 2, and 3. So the number 1 and 2 spots, they were dictating the finals. They had already a ticket was already put there for them. The number 3 and 4 number 4 team, they have to fight for the last ticket there. So that was the best case scenario for KPA if they had what it takes to play in BAL. But given the fact that they've not been able to do anything significant, they've never been able to get to that point. And in the Elite 16, we are yet to see them get past that. But looking at the current situation right now, with the format changing a bit, I expect to see a bit an easier route for the Nairobi City Thunder. I don't want to say it's easy basketball, but a fair, easier route that they can go to sneak into the BAL, either through the front door or the back door. But the way the competition is set up, if they're able to play their cards right and able to focus for all the games, and able to win more games, they'll have what it takes to be able to go ahead and win. Take a look back at what the KPA Dockers did in 2019. They were literally blowing out teams. That time, people did not understand how important the BAL was, so they didn't give it too much seriousness. And KPA also didn't give it too much seriousness. So right now, the BAL have expanded it, and they're trying to add more teams slowly. They didn't want to add many teams at first because they wanted to gauge the seriousness of the teams and the nations. But in this case, they're adding slots slowly because the whole objective is to have three quarters of the continent competing. And through this slow introduction, they're able to break into markets. So the road to BAL teams have to fight for a slot. They must fight for a slot to be able to play in the BAL. And road to BAL is the way to go for us. So we have to fight it all the way from the bottom, because in every single round, you have to make sure that you finish with the best case scenario. Because if you're able to fight through that gauntlet and make it to in the BAL, you have to fight for a playoff spot. The journey doesn't end there. You have to fight for a playoff spot. And if you fight for a playoff spot, you have to make sure that you finish well, either in the semis, not in the quarterfinals, in the semis or finals, if you make it there, which is very difficult because you're matching up against teams that have, number one, have experience. And there's a high likelihood that if you get to that point, you're going to match up against either a team that already made the finals or a team that already won the finals. In this case, we'll match up against either the Petro de Luanda team or another team. Let's say, for example, FES de Rabat, a team that competes heavy, and they're a team that doesn't joke around when it comes to the sort of situation. So in every single journey, there is no place where there's a final destination. So if you make it to the BAL, you have to make sure to secure a playoff spot. You don't want to get to the BAL regular season and you get yanked, because if you get out and don't even make the playoffs, that means that you'll have to repeat that cycle for going to the road to BAL over and over again so that you can be able to get in. Because majority of the teams, not only do they want to retain their slot, but also they want to defend their slot. Even the teams that are qualified automatically, they want to retain that slot. They want to retain it like that because nothing is guaranteed. And if they don't take care of that, they might end up going down in the rankings. So for the Nairobi Thunder, a team that hails from Kenya, a team that I've been backing for the past year, I must say this is the chance that this is the most golden chance they have. If they screw it up right now, next year is not guaranteed. It's just going to get difficult. And given the huge financial commitment that they've made, even I've made a video talking about how they have gone out of their way to spend a lot of money to be able to put this roster together. If they don't manage to succeed, it's going to be a failed season. But given like the way BAL just changed up the way the competition is, they can be able to find a way to get in there. But hey, it is what it is. I mean, basketball, a lot of things can happen, a lot of things can change, and hopefully the Nairobi Thunder, my team, are going to be able to come back down in full strength. I've talked about the Thunder too much, but looking at even the other teams, looking at the defending champions, the Petro de Luanda team, they're all in and they're going to play in the FIBA Intercontinental Cup. They are the defending champions currently. They are the best, and I don't think there's a team right now that can be able to match up against them. It's just going to be quite difficult. They got rid of Jose Neto, and they've never been this strong. They've been very strong, and I don't think there's a team that can be able to stop them right now. Then, looking at also the City Oilers, I'll also be monitoring the City Oilers' performance. I mean, they didn't make the playoffs. They had the worst record. And they weren't able to do anything. If it's the Rabat, the best team in the regular season, couldn't finish. They couldn't even make, or even couldn't even get the job done in the postseason. So that was actually quite sad. And we're just seeing a couple of new faces. So Cameroon, we've got Kaji Sports Academy, that's KSA. You've not seen them. ABC Fighters are back. In Gabon, we've got Moanda. So Gabon is a new entrant. You've not seen Gabon. Costa do Sol, we've not seen Mozambique that much. Tanzania, JKT. So JKT, you've not seen them. GNBC, the last time I saw them was in season 1, which was, it was way back. Got Bravehearts from Malawi. They have not made it there. Zambia, Matera Magic, not made it past. So I'm just waiting to see what will happen in Israel to BAL. So the defending champions, Petro de Luanda, Al Ittihad Alexandria making their debut. So the third Egyptian team to make it to the league. I mean, ASCVD became the third Senegalese club to qualify to the BAL, and man, it's just crazy. So Senegal have had three different teams. So I'm just waiting to see what's gonna happen, and I'll just stay tuned and keep you updated on changes on how the BL is just set up, everything from start to finish. So like, share, subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Peace out.